Dallas Police Department is launching an internal investigation on the Amber Geiger case. We have the details.
It's always a culinary experience. What to try at the State Fair of Texas.
Here at the DMA, that's only here for a few more weeks. I'll have more later.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is NTTV Nightly News.
Thanks for joining us on NTTV Nightly News. I'm Kia Black.
And I'm Lincoln Revel. Welcome to the rooftop patio here at the UNT Union. The view from up here is actually tremendous, and it gives you just a sense of how big the campus really is.
Yeah, that's right, Lincoln. The weather actually feels great right now. We want to take advantage of it before the winter actually starts to set in.
Yes, and speaking of cool weather, I am very glad that I'm not wearing my jacket right now, because if I was, I would be burning up.
You look at me, I have on all black in this weather, but let's go ahead and toss it over to our weather anchor, Julian Esparza. Julian?
Hey guys, yeah, you're talking about cool weather, but we're not feeling it up here at all. Got the sleeves rolled up and everything because 93 degrees right now up here at the UNT Union. Feels like 96, even warmer. We've got a wind out of the east at 7 miles an hour. It is partly cloudy. Tonight, 82 degrees. It'll feel like 85. Wind out of the northeast at 8 miles an hour, and it'll be partly cloudy. Tomorrow, a little bit of a different story, though. It'll be 69 degrees. It'll feel like 71. Wind out of the northeast at 8 miles an hour. And the reason that temperature dips down just a little bit is because of a chance of thunderstorms. Some more on that later. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Julian. Tonight, former Dallas police officer Amber Geiger is in jail to begin her 10-year sentence for the shooting death of Botham Jean. The sentence was passed yesterday in a Dallas courtroom. Shortly after that, Police Chief Renee Hall held a press conference. She announced the department is beginning an internal investigation into the handling of the case.
We must all agree that there were some things that came out during the trial, and if those things are true, and how we are going to begin to find that out is by launching an internal affairs investigation into those things that came.
The chief mentioned testimony about tampering with car cameras and failure to render aid during the shooting.
The effects of vaping illness continue to rise as the 18th death was recorded this week. The government says new statistics are very worrying. Nadia Romero has the story.
Megan Eagle was hospitalized after becoming suddenly ill.
It is a parent's worst nightmare.
Indiana health officials confirmed she died from a vaping-related illness. But it's people even younger than Megan Eagle who have the U.S. Centers for Disease Control on high alert. According to the CDC, youth cigarette use is down, but e-cigarette popularity among kids is growing.
The nicotine level in recent products, recent e-cigarette products, is extremely high and very addictive.
And a new CDC report shows as of September 24th, there have been more than 800 patients with lung injuries related to vaping and e-cigarettes. 69% of the cases are males, 16% kids under the age of 18. The CDC is sending a strong warning for everyone to stop using vaping products.
We're seeing young people become critically ill and die.
States across the country taking action, like New York, Michigan, and Utah. Just some of the places putting restrictions on the sale of flavored e-cigarettes.
Any store that chooses not to comply is in violation of state law.
But an executive order to do the same in Washington state met with pushback from store owners.
There is no excuse in this state to addict a 12-year-old child to nicotine.
You guys are absolutely doing a disservice.
The heated debate will likely continue as the CDC works to pinpoint a cause for the vaping-related deaths. In Washington, I'm Nadia Romero.
While the causes of these illnesses with vaping are unknown, there might be a lead. Research shows that the chemicals in vaping liquid could be to blame. The Mayo Clinic investigated 17 people who vaped and found they all showed signs of chemical burns in their lungs. Most of these users sample cannabis, oils, or marijuana. We'll keep you updated as research continues.
Love the arts? Guess who just got a new title? Denton, Texas. Our very own city has been added on the list of cultural districts by the Texas Commission on the Arts. The city will be celebrating the new title at the Patterson-Appleton Arts Center on Thursday, October 17th from 6 to 8 p.m. The celebration is free and open to the public, and additional details will be announced closer to the date.
If you've been waiting for it to cool off a bit and you didn't want to head to the state fair, we have a solution.
Our own Marcela Sanchez has an indoor alternative. Marcela?
Hey everyone, I know we're always looking for things to do during the week and on the weekends, and I have just a thing for you here at the Dallas Museum of Art's, the Dior exhibit. I actually just came out a few minutes ago and loved it so much that I created a little something for you guys, so let's go check it out.
Christian Dior built a fashion house that is known across the world. This remarkable man's fashion transformed femininity, especially after World War II. And now the DMA offers the public an intimate view of the fashion house that is Dior. From Spain to Japan, Dior's fashion evolved to capture the traditions of each country and the beauty of their women. Each of the pieces were delicately constructed and revolutionized fashion for future designers. In the exhibit, you'll also see the 6 designers who have succeeded him and their personal touches. Today, both women and men continue Dior's legacy and wear his clothing as more than garments, but as a statement of art.
And the Dior exhibit actually leaves October 27th, so don't forget to come by because Dallas is the very last spot it comes to before all the pieces go back to their respective homes, some in Paris. I send it back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Marcella. That exhibit looks amazing. Coming up, UNT's roof is getting a makeover.
And you might be surprised which fast food restaurant is actually the fastest.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, man. Oh, sorry.
Make-A-Wish grants a wish every 17 minutes. I know that sounds pretty magical, but in fact, it takes more than magic. It takes muscle.
So, when a kid like Fabian wishes to be a superstar, things happen. Whoa! Or when Kahim transforms into Super Kahim.
He feels invincible. It's because wishes have proven physical and emotional benefits that can give children with critical illnesses a higher chance of survival.
Help us make sure every wish comes true. Join us at wish.org.
President Trump is once again using Twitter to blast the impeachment inquiry about to start in Congress, and some of his language is showing his temper. Suzanne Malveaux has the details.
House Democrats eager to begin depositions as President Trump appears increasingly furious over their impeachment inquiry. In just hours, Kurt Volker, former U.S. Special Envoy to Ukraine, will be deposed by 3 House committees about the whistleblower complaint, which alleges President Trump repeatedly pressured Ukraine to investigate former Vice President Joe Biden and his son.
I hope that he will be truthful, and I hope that he will give those questioners and investigators the tools that they need to get to the bottom of this very pressing matter.
Intelligence Community Inspector General Michael Atkinson will appear at a closed-door briefing tomorrow, which is also the deadline House Democrats have given the White House to submit documents related to the Ukraine phone call or face subpoenas.
We're not fooling around here, though. We don't want this to drag on months and months and months, which appears to be the administration's strategy.
It comes after the State Department Inspector General gave lawmakers dozens of pages of documents that make many of the same unproven claims about the Bidens that Trump allies have been making. Congressman Jamie Raskin was the lone lawmaker to attend the briefing.
It's essentially a packet of propaganda and disinformation spreading conspiracy theories. Those conspiracy theories have been widely debunked and discredited.
The documents attempt to smear Joe Biden and former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch. President Trump's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, told CNN some of the documents originated with him, and he then gave them to the White House. A source telling CNN the White House then passed them to Secretary of State Mike Pompeo.
Why was Secretary of State Pompeo in possession of this packet of disinformation? It raises more questions than it answers.
The president continuing to show his rage, sending this profane tweet, writing, "The do-nothing Democrats should be focused on building up our country, not wasting everyone's time and energy on bullshit." Trump's tirade continuing offline, too.
You look at the whistleblower statement, and it's vicious. Vicious. To impeach a president over a fraud that was committed by other people that want to win an election in 2020, which they won't, is incredible.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi saying she thinks it's part of President Trump's strategy to divert attention.
I think the president knows the argument that can be made against him, and he's scared.
Meanwhile, presidential candidate Bernie Sanders is back on the campaign trail, or will be soon. Just 2 days ago, Sanders was hospitalized with chest pains and underwent heart surgery. Doctors treated him for a blockage. Tonight, he says he will be at the next big Democratic debate on October 15th. Sanders is currently ranked third in the race behind Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren.
As college students, we are always in need of money. Well, we have good news. The application for Federal Student Aid, or FAFSA, is now available. Whitney Wild has the story.
It's that time of year again. College aid season opened October 1st, and education officials say fill out your application as soon as possible. Even if your family might not qualify for need-based aid, sometimes schools have different merit-based scholarships. And schools use the federal form to determine most aid. Another reason to submit the form ASAP: 13 states award financial aid on a first-come, first-served basis. So if you're in one of these states, then get that form online or fill it out on the app My Student Aid. Experts say there are simpler ways to get this done, like the free website called Frank, which has streamlined the process. Current and prospective college students have until the end of June to submit their FAFSA, but deadlines vary depending on your state and college. Experts recommend you do your research to make sure you submit the FAFSA on time. Experts say the biggest challenge when filling out the FAFSA is the number of questions. There are 100 of them. But remember, it's all for free cash for college. For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Whitney Wild.
UNT is continuing to set fundraising records for the third consecutive year. This year, the university received its largest single gift, $30 million from alumni G. Brent Ryan. $61 million in fundraising for fiscal year 2019 was recorded, and Legacy Giving received more than $8.5 million in commitments.
14 southern states are currently in a flash drought. This is when farm soil cracks and ponds dry up, which raises the risk of wildfires. This drought is due to record-breaking heat and little rainfall. In total, nearly 20% of the lower U.S. is experiencing this drought.
Lincoln, I don't know about you, but it sure does not feel like fall right now.
No, it does not. My calendar says it's October, but it sure does not feel like October.
No.
So let's throw it back to our weatherman, Julian, for another look at the weather. Julian?
Yeah, Lincoln, well, I'd say it's feeling a bit more like August out there right now. Let's take a look at the current conditions for across the area right now. Denton here, we're at 93, Graham also 93, Dallas 95, Sulphur Springs also up there at 95, Paris at 90 and Bowie at 92. Across the region now, seeing a little bit of a difference in temperatures as you head further up north. Oklahoma City there at 74, Shreveport 79, a little bit closer to the Gulf, Houston 91, Austin 94. And looking now at our 7-day forecast, I mentioned a chance of storms for tomorrow. That will hold true, and that will bring our temperature down just a little bit. But going into Saturday, clears up, mostly sunny, high of 90. Sunday, the chance for thunderstorms does return in the evening, high of 89 on that day. But the beginning of next week, that's when we start seeing a change. We get some good news, high of 76 on Monday. How about that? And 79 Tuesday, and creeps back up to 83 on Wednesday. Honestly, not too bad. We'll take it. It's better than the 90s we're seeing right now. Guys, send it back to you. Oh yeah, and speaking of that 7-day forecast, it's looking pretty fall-like, but we want you to take a look at what's happening up in Colorado. Thousands of monarch butterflies are swarming in a state park. That is all part of the migration these butterflies make every year. They travel nearly 3,000 miles down to Mexico, where they spend the winter. The monarchs also pass through parts of Texas on that annual trip. Earlier this week, we had a chance to see some monarchs close up over at the UNT Elm Fork Education Center. So if you see some monarchs fly by, know they are on a long journey, and they will make a return trip in the spring. Lincoln and Kia, back to you.
A well-known UNT building is going through a big transformation.
Our reporter Nomi Sanchez is live at the Coliseum to tell us more. Nomi?
Thanks, Jillian. So UNT Super Pit is about to go through a major renovation. This Coliseum, known for hosting athletic events and graduations, will soon be covered with a silver rooftop. Planning for this project began around February of this year and is expected to last 9 months. The current rooftop has gone through a lot of weathering, leading to the rustling of the present metal. UNT facilities are hoping to change them for new ones. Apart from this, administrators are working hard to ensure that this new renovation causes minimal disruptions to students and events around this area. Back to you at the studio.
Thanks, Nomi. Well, fast texting and typing may be a thing of the past with texting taking over.
And put down the phones and head down to the State Fair of Texas. What performances and events you need to check out. Coming up.
We're gonna go out there in the rain. We're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go! Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. So wet.
It's fine that other people like you. It's more important that you like yourself. And I'm comfortable with every part of me. Meals on Wheels coming to my door as someone who's housebound assures me that I'm not forgotten. They care that I'm okay. My name is Asha Ida Bell. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Have you ever wondered what's taking Chick-fil-A lines so long? Maybe it's the Sunday, or maybe they're the slowest in the fast foods industry. A study by the QSR magazine Drive-Thru Performance Study, which measures how long it will take to get your food after you reach a drive-thru window, has shown the population food chain will keep you waiting nearly 5.5 minutes on your order. But good news for our morning folks. You'll wait the least for breakfast anywhere you go.
We all know that when the State Fair of Texas comes to town, it brings with it a variety of foods that will suit any taste. Our reporter Brandon Republica has the details on the food to look forward to.
Hey guys, we're here at the heart of the State Fair grounds where there's so much food going around right now. We have gold fritters, cream corn casserole, and burnt and brisket. There's so much food going on. I think I gained like 10 pounds just being here. They also have vegan and vegetarian options for those who don't eat meat, such as mango on a stick, pickle on a stick, and so much more. I, for one, love corny dogs, so.
And while all that food does sound great, there are also other things to do besides eat. If you head over to the fair this weekend, you can catch the Texas Auto Show in one of the pavilions. It's a great way to see the latest and greatest of the new car models. You can sit in them and get a feel for what they are like. Then, if you are at the fair on Saturday morning, you can watch the experts at pumpkin carving, just in time for Halloween. And if film and TV is your passion, there is an exhibit called Texas Cinema, all about the impact the Lone Star State has had in the movie and TV industry.
Lincoln, I gotta be honest, I don't know a thing about what's coming up in Dallas sports.
Well, in that case, let's check in with Sarah Baskin to find out. Sarah?
Thanks, guys. There's a lot of great sports happening around the Metroplex this weekend. I'll preview a couple key games right after this.
Is more than 125 years in the making. To find new solutions, we create a new point of view. We know what's possible when creativity, originality, and independent thought converge. We're ranked a Tier 1 research university. We're home to excellence the size of Texas. Define your future at UNT and soar to new heights.
In America, the zip code you're born in can determine your future. The Y helps fill the opportunity gap with education programs for all. For a better us, support your local Y today.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. Already posted it.
The Dallas Stars kick off their regular season at home tonight against the Boston Bruins. Both teams are looking for redemption this year after Game 7 losses during the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Stars had a busy offseason, adding center Joe Pavelski and right wing Corey Perry after struggling on offense last season. The Dallas Cowboys will face off against the Green Bay Packers at AT&T Stadium on Sunday. Both teams have a 3-1 record after suffering tough losses during Week 4. The Cowboys will be without Pro Bowl left tackle Tyron Smith, who suffered a high ankle sprain against the New Orleans Saints on Sunday, but they will welcome back wide receiver Michael Gallup, who missed 2 games with a knee injury. The Mean Green women's volleyball team goes on the road this weekend to face 2 Conference USA opponents. They face off against Southern Mississippi on Friday and Louisiana Tech on Sunday. North Texas is 1-1 in conference play so far this season after winning in a sweep against UAB on Friday and losing to Rice last Sunday. And finally, basketball season is right around the corner and the Coliseum is ready for action. A new floor was installed at the Super Pit this week, and Mean Green fans had a chance to vote on a brand new design after an online poll over the summer, and they chose this design over 2 other options. The men's basketball team wasted no time once the floor was installed and have already had their first practice on the new floor. That's all for sports. Back to you, Kia.
Thanks, Sarah. Researchers have shown that getting a late text should be no more. After studying the texting habits of 37,000 people in 160 countries, the study has shown that the average person types on their mobile device an average of 36 words per minute. But don't think about your grandma will text you this fast. The study also showed that the results depend on the generation. Lincoln, what do you think about that?
You know, I know that it said that we type at 36 words a minute, but honestly, I feel like I type a lot faster than that.
Same. I'm literally just, I don't even know how many seconds or how many minutes. But
oh, yeah, definitely not. But thank you for watching NTTV Nightly News.
I'm Kia Black.
Join us again next week at 6 here on North Texas Television.